Hi everyone, good morning. First of all, my name is Shruti Darekar and I am a product manager at Amoeboids. And today's topic is how to create single work item reports out of Jira, how to streamline these reporting. So let me just share my screen and we'll start. So yeah, so thank you for joining everyone. So here we are today to discuss about how one Jira work item can be reported in many different formats depending on your stakeholders, and how you can keep on creating these kind of reports just in a few clicks instead of manually creating them from scratch every time. So here's what we are going to discuss today. What exactly happens? I myself am a product manager, and I have talked to many product managers who will agree with me that what happens during reporting, because reporting is a very important part of product management or any project. You need to report all the incidences, you need to document them well. There are different stakeholders, and different stakeholders need updates on different channels and in different formats. So you cannot keep on sending once the report is created. You cannot just keep on sending the same report to everyone. What you need to do for this is copy that Jira data into your reports in different formats, then format it again. And because everything is done manually, there are a lot of errors. And let's be honest, it's most of the times it happens that even if we are sending a small email, when we are sending it, everything looks fine. But as soon as we hit send and then reread the whole email again, you will start finding mistakes in it. So how do we avoid that? That's what we are going to discuss today. So here's the today's roadmap. First, we are going to discuss how to transfer this data into different reports. Then we will see how exactly we can do using different tools, how to create different kinds of reports. And when I say different kinds of reports and channels, what I mean is you can create a report, a PDF report, a Word report, and send an automatic email, send attachments with your email, send updates on Slack and Teams, and so on. Along, we will be discussing this as well, but along with this, we will also focus on how to create a single issue report. For an example, you have an epic, all your data is in that epic, and you want to create a report that is specific to that particular epic. Now, it is going to have multiple linked issues, it's going to have multiple child issues, it's going to have its own start date, end date, an overview and a description, maybe some stakeholder specific information, different comments, and so on. So how can you extract all that information for a single issue into a report? And after the demo, we'll also have a Q&A session so that you can ask your doubts. So, as I said earlier, what's the process of creating any kind of report? You open Jira, you extract it maybe in Excel, then copy all the details, paste into whatever format that you have, Maybe you're creating a Word report. You might have the existing format, or you're creating it from scratch. You need to paste all that information into your Word file, then reformat it because you will have to rewrite it. Not every stakeholder will be happy with the raw data that comes out of Jira. Then you'll have to, once you have done that, you'll also have to maybe create another a report, because Word will go for a review. There will be changes. And then again, you need to create a different report out of it. Then again, because it's all done by a human, you will have to double check it. And then finally, you will be sending it maybe via an email to your stakeholders. And again, while writing an email, you might make mistakes. And you will have to keep on repeating this same process every time you need to send any kind of report. After every sprint, after every release, or maybe during a pre-release meeting or a daily stand-up report, anything. So how do you reduce this manual work? That's what we are going to discuss. And along with this, today's webinar will be focused on single issue templates, as I said. So you can create a epic specific report, or you have a bug, there's an incident that was reported, and you want a complete report about how many customers were affected by it, what was the root cause of it, what was the solution, who worked on it, what exact message do you want to convey about that bug to your customers, and so on. So how do you do that? That's what we are. That's what I'm going to show you. After this, I'll show you some sample templates first, so that you get a proper idea about what kind of templates are we discussing, and then we'll proceed further with the demo. Sorry for that. So, and you can create multiple formats of these reports. So as I said, PDF, Word, HTML, email, there are a number of possibilities. Not exactly N, but yeah, there are multiple possibilities, not just these four, but there are more. Slack, MS Teams, and so on as well. So that's where our product comes in, that is automated release notes and reports app, which will streamline the whole process. What it does is that you can create a template. Once the template is created, you do not need to look at it again. You will create a rule where you are stating that when do you need this report exactly. And then every time you want to create this report, the report will automatically keep on generating. So you build it once, but you will reuse it forever. So let's just start with the demo so that you get a better idea of what exactly, of what kind of reports exactly I'm talking about. So first, let me show you few of the templates. As I said, the epic report. So as a use case, if you take that there's an epic, there are multiple fields in Jira that you need about that epic to get a complete idea of what exactly is happening in it. And then there's an objective, there's a start date, due date, how much time is spent, what kind of labels were added to it, which customer has asked for it, what are its child issues, the bugs, linked issues, and all these things. So what here I have done is that I created one template which is specific to this particular epic, that is persona based report. If I just open this, you can see all my data lies in Jira. Who's the assignee, what's the label, due date, the description, all the child items, all the linked items of these childs, and everything. And what here is happening is that I extracted all that data into a report automatically. And you can see how neatly you can show this data without any formatting, without any external formatting required. So all the child issues were also fetched. The information of these child issues is also fetched. Um, the information about the linked issues that each child issue has, because sorry, ACM 15 is a bug that is a child issue of this epic, and then you can see the linked issues of that bug as well. So this is the kind of report that you can create. Now let's see how exactly can we create this report. So first of all, this is how our app ARNR looks like. This is automated release notes and reports. First, the dashboard gives you an idea of which templates are you using, which rules are you using, and so on. We also have a few AI related features. If you would like, I would like to explain those as well if the time persists. Then the rules, as I said, you need automation as well, because once the report is created, you should be able to receive these notifications automatically. So we have rules and templates. That's the most important thing, what we are going to learn today. So for creating any template, you can just go to ARNR, go to templates tab and click on create. As you can see, there are many types of template available: email, PDF. You can even create Confluence reports, Slack, MS Team, PowerPoint, LinkedIn announcements, then release page notification, JSON, and so on. Word. There are many options. You can just click on any template that you want to create and select. So a basic template will be available for you with a very basic report that you can generate. And how exactly this works is it has a WYSIWYG toolbar, just like you have in Word or PowerPoint, Excel, and so on. So you can just add tables to it, add your own logos. You can add the content that you want in your report. So this is all the static content. Now, how do you reuse these templates is by using the variables. So I can use the same template for some other project as well. So how do I change this project name? I can use this project name variable. ARNR allows you to use multiple variables. So users, project variables, then there are version variables, version name, version description, release date, and so on. You can fetch these data using these variables. Then there are sprint variables as well, date and time variables, Confluence specific variables, and so on. So here this we have used a release date variable, that is a version variable, and so on. So instead of looking at this template, let me just open a pre-existing template of the same report that I just showed you so that you can understand this better. So the epic report that we were talking about. Now, as you see, I have used the same tools and added a proper background to my report. I changed the color. I changed all the content. I can add my own logo over here. If I want, I can even add more CSS to this to get it into a better format, and I can edit the source code whenever I want. Now, so this is a static content that each report will have, that this report summarizes the current progress of the specific epic that we are working on. And how do we know that, how do we extract the name of this epic? Is again using a variable. But this is a special kind of variable. So as I said earlier, that we are going to focus on how to extract information for a specific issue, because mostly what we do is that this app works on JQLs. So you can write in a JQL that I want this specific um, these specific issues, and then project equals to a project ID, then give a version ID, and then I want all the stories, and then I want this particular information from these stories. But how do we extract information regarding a specific issue? So for that, we have Spotlight issue feature. What we need to do in Spotlight issue is that you can just enable the Spotlight issue, and then here you need to add all the fields that you need in your report. So regarding that particular epic, what I need in my report is the priority key, summary, status, assignee, description, repair, and updated labels, and all this. So I can add n number of fields, whatever you want, or and you can also add custom fields as well. So if you have any kind of custom fields added in your instance, you can add those as well. Once you have added these variables, you can add uh, once you have added those fields, you can add variables about those fields here. Now, the syntax needs to be correct. And we know that it's not possible for everyone to remember the correct syntax. So what you can do is that wherever you want to insert any of the variable, just take the cursor over there, click on Spotlight Field Issues, and then you can see all the fields that I added for Spotlight. I can just select it. And then I will get two options for variables, whether I want the label of that field, in this case, it will be assignee, or do I want the content of that field? So I'm selecting the content here. Just like here, how we have selected content of summary field. So that SP summary underscore summary is going to get replaced with the summary of this epic. And then similarly, I have added multiple such variables in my report. And then for child issues, what I have done is that I have added a JQL section. So here you can see there's a JQL section. I've added a JQL section. And as I said earlier, we can add a JQL and fetch the required issues. So here also I have used ARNR variables, because we cannot use a hard-coded JQL inside this, because if you hard code, you have to change the value every time. You want to keep if you want everything to be automatic, you do not need to enter anything. Each time you just select exactly for which project, which version, which issue do you want this report to be generated, and by selecting that, report should be generated. So here we have used ARNR variables. Whenever you select any project, that project's project ID will automatically be replaced here. The type is equal to story and parent is equal to CV issue key. So here we have used another feature, that is custom variables. So if you use this, you can create custom variables in app. If you use this, you do not have to hard code any of the Jira issue. You can directly add this JQL, and while creating the report, you can select for which issue do you want to create this report. And then you can select the fields again. You can select n number of fields. You just need to add them here so that exactly information from these fields will be selected in your report. And then there is layout. So there are table layout, sequential, grid, multiple layouts. When I say that, you can see here that this data is in a table layout for stories. Bugs are in a sequential layout. I can define which sequence I want for these fields that I have selected, and then according to that sequence, my bugs will be uh, displayed. And then this is the grid layout. I can select how many columns do I want in my grid, what kind of structure I want inside my card, and that structure will be created. So like that, I have created 3 JQL sections. All I need to do is save. I can also preview it from here. And this is what I was talking about. So when I say I have added version equals to fixed version equal to version ID using a ARNR variable in my JQL, that means this version ID, I can select it anytime I want to create a report. So I'm selecting this particular version. For issue key, I am giving it exact issue key that I want this report to be created for. And then for spotlight issue, I need to select for which issue do I want to fetch all that data for. And then I'll just click on preview. Sorry. And once you click on preview, here your report is generated. You can even download it from here, or this is a manual process that every time you come to the template, you put in all the variables and then download it from here. But if you want multiple reports to be created at the same time, then you can use rules. So I'll give you a quick overview of what rules does. Now here I have created one rule. There's just one action. You can add more actions as well. So if I click on add action, you can see I can send an email, I can publish a page in Confluence, I can publish a widget, there's Jira operation, JSM announcement, and so on. There are many more actions that I can add here. But just to keep it simple, I have created an email action in which I have created selected one email template. So that's how my email will look when I send it to someone. Then I have selected attachments in that email. There is one PDF attachment and one Word attachment. And then I have selected all the other configurations and whom do I want this email to be sent. Save it. And send it. So sending, again, they will ask you for the variables that you have used. So you can add those variables here. And send. You can also use our triggers that are automated triggers. If you want to send any email whenever a version is created or a version is released, or a few days before a release, or if you want a daily stand-up report or a report every Friday, then you can use schedule at interval and so on. So there are many triggers, you can explore those as well. Or if you want to integrate your rule with your CI/CD pipeline, then you can even use the webhook rule. There are multiple options available. So once a rule is executed, you can go to logs, and here you can see whether your action has been successfully executed or not. As you see, there were two attachments and an email. I can directly view it from here, what kind of email it was. I must have received that email as well. Okay, it's taking some time, but it will be there. The action is already successful, so it should be there. Yeah, so this is how my email looked like. I can view it from here as well. And I can also download my attachments that I sent with the email in my logs tab. So what I showed you was an Word file. This is a PDF that was generated. Here, I've created a bug investigation brief, and you can see this is also a spotlight issue template, by the way. This was created in the same way that I selected one particular bug that I want. Sorry for that. Yeah. And then all the information about that particular bug was fetched in this report. And then, so similarly, you can keep on creating these reports in multiple formats once you are done with your basic template that you want to create, the format that you want to present your uh, report in. So that's all from my side for this demo. So yeah, what we saw today, what exact the PM say about the product, that is ARNR. So before ARNR, they spent a lot of time by creating these manual reports. Because they are manual, there are human errors and a lot of corrections that are required. Because it takes a lot of time, there is communication delay. And after, once they have streamlined the whole process, the reporting is very easy. Formatting errors are zero because you don't have to look at it again once the template is ready. It's going to keep on replicating it. The only thing you need to be sure that the data that is present in Jira is accurate. Okay. As your speed has increased, and because there are so many different formats, you are in alignment with your stakeholders. Your stakeholders get exact information at the exact time that they require. And your visibility also increases because you're communicating better than before. And that's all from my side. Thank you for joining, and the forum is open for questions. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll take that as a no. So we also have a free app. It's not paid. Obviously, free app will have some limitations, but if you want to try out how exactly this app works, you can download the free app and try it out. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.